Hey, how's everybody doing today? Hotep, everybody. Hey, this is Michael M. Hotep, founder of the African History Network and host of the African History Network show. Hey, today is Saturday, May 13th, 2017. And I will be at an event today in Detroit organized by Hood Research. This is a panel discussion called Clear the Airwaves, Clear the Airwaves. This deals with the mental effects of negative hip hop and killer lyrics, the impact it has on our children, African people, etc. Okay? It's taking place today, Saturday, May 13th, 2017, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Detroit at the Dabo Center, Detroit Association of Black Organizations, located at 12048 Grand River Avenue in Detroit, Michigan, the corner of Wyoming. This is a free event. Come on out. This is organized by Hood Research. This is a panel discussion called Clear the Airwaves, the mental effects of negative rap or hip hop and killer lyrics, how it affects our communities, how it disrespects our women, the radio stations that play it, the corporations that sponsor it. Okay. And we're going to deal with solutions to fight against this as well. I'm on the panel also. The panelists include Theo Broughton from Hood Research, Mary Sheffield, member of Detroit City Council, Maureen Taylor from the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization. You have Don Henderson from Urban Information Network, UIN. Professor Michael Griggs, who I know, he teaches history and African American history at Wayne County Community College District. And special guest Kwabena Rasuli from the Clear the Airwaves Project. Okay. Now, you've heard me talk before. You've seen presentations I've done. You've seen me on Facebook Live. And I deal a lot with the impact that media has on us. Your thoughts create feelings. Your feelings create actions and behaviors. Your actions and behaviors create results. Your thoughts create feelings. Your feelings create actions and behaviors. Your actions and behaviors create results. And we have to understand that we are under assault by the music that's fed to us, by the images that are shown to us, but it also impacts the way other people perceive you, act towards you. It impacts the laws that they implement, the policies they implement, etc. It impacts how people vote. Okay, it impacts how people see evidence when they are sitting on a jury and they see a video of a man who is being choked by police, and he says 11 times, "I can't breathe," okay? And they don't think there's anything wrong with that, because we have to be tough on these people, because these are criminals, because these are the people who we see being criminals every night on the evening news, okay? So we have to understand how the images that we see in the media, the images we see on the television, how this impacts the way we think, feel, act, and behave, but also how people act towards us. We just saw on Friday, May 12th, if you paid attention, you see the articles on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. We saw what Attorney General Jeff Sessions just did. He is rolling back the Obama era policies under Attorney General Eric Holder and Attorney General Loretta Lynch that did not go after the harshest penalties against low-level drug users or low-level drug offenders. Okay, Jeff Sessions is turning that back. He's a white segregationist from Alabama. He's against criminal justice reform. He thinks that's being soft on crime. And the New York Times reported May 12th, Attorney General Jeff Sessions has ordered federal prosecutors to pursue the toughest possible charges and sentences against crime suspects, reversing Obama administration efforts to ease penalties for nonviolent drug violations. They are ramping up the war on drugs all over again, based upon lies. And Jeff Sessions and Donald Trump, they are lying about the crime reports. Murders are at a 45-year low, and Jeff Sessions is citing a spike over the last year or two and acting like the sky is falling, as opposed to talking about getting proper resources to these communities in Chicago and in Baltimore and things like this, getting proper resources for diversionary programs and to make investments in the community. They want to lock up people. All right. Well, negative hip hop ties into this, and negative hip hop is part of an overall system of white supremacy that dehumanizes and degrades African people and uses the media to feed these images to people to influence the way they think, feel, act, and behave. So they will then justify policies like this, okay, coming from the Attorney General, coming from Donald Trump, who ran on the platform of law and order. All right. What's interesting is that Donald Trump has a long history of fraternizing with African-American hip hop artists. And he asked, what do you have to lose? But then they just declared war on African Americans by reversing these Obama policies. So this is why we have to be politically astute. This is why we have to be conscious of what's going on, because all of this impacts policies, and these policies impact every aspect of our life. So the negative hip hop that's being put out by corporate conglomerates, okay, and there's a relationship between these corporate conglomerates and privatized prisons as well. There's a relationship between this. All of this is interrelated and interconnected. You know, Malcolm X, and you see the picture of Malcolm behind me. Malcolm said the most powerful entity on earth is the media, because they have the ability to make the guilty innocent and the innocent guilty, and that's power because they control the minds of the masses. The most powerful entity on earth is the media, because they have the power to make the guilty innocent and the innocent guilty. And that's power because they control the minds of the masses. So these are some of the things we're going to deal with today. And I'm on the panel in Detroit, Saturday, May 13th, 2017, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at 12048 Grand River Avenue, 12048 Grand River Avenue. We're going to post the information here on the thread again. This is organized by Hood Research. This is at the Dabo Center. Dabo stands for Detroit Association of Black Organizations. This is a free event. Come on out. Bring the youth. Bring the youth. Bring the youth. Okay? People ask, oh, why don't you have any youth at this event? Because you didn't bring them. Bring the youth. They need to hear this information. Now, I want to make it perfectly clear. This is not an attack on the hip hop artists. The artists are not the ones who are in control. It's the corporate conglomerates. It's the suits. It's the European corporations that control the messages. Okay. And I wrote an article. I'm going to deal with some of the articles that I wrote at the event today also. So come on out, those in the Detroit area. I wrote an article dealing with, and I had to go through and pull up some of my articles. Some of these, man, I forgot that I wrote because I've written so many of them. But there was this one article that dealt with how there was this white pastor named White Mike, okay? And I wrote an article dealing with how you can make songs about killing black people, killing African Americans, but notice you can't make songs about killing animals. You ever notice that? I wrote an article, and you could read all my articles at yourblackworld.net, yourblackworld.net. Pastor says radio won't play songs about killing animals, but play songs about killing black people. You can make all the songs you want to about killing black people, bad and bougie, trap music, all this stuff. You can't make songs about killing dogs or killing cats. You can't make songs about dog fighting and things like this. Why is that? Because PETA will be on you, and the suits probably won't even let you make that music. But you can make music about killing black people. That's not a problem. If you read the article I wrote called "Rapper Wise Intelligent discusses why hip hop went from positive to negative," Rapper Wise Intelligent discusses why hip hop went from positive to negative. In the article, I have a video of Wise Intelligent talking about this, and I've interviewed him before. And he talks about how hip-hop artist Young Buck wanted to have a song on his CD that talked about killing police officers. Okay, now this wasn't talking about indiscriminately. This was fighting back against a police officer inflicting police brutality upon people, things like this. He wasn't talking about just wholesale killing police officers, from my understanding of this. Well, what happened was Jimmy Iovine, who's a white male American producer, and he at the time was chairman of Interscope, Geffen, and A&M Records. He told them, absolutely not. You cannot do this. You cannot put out a song talking about killing police officers. He said because it may bring about a harmful reaction to police officers. He told them you can't do that. But he let him keep the songs on his CD that talked about killing black people. That was fine. So when you really understand this, you understand that African people are the only people you could put out negative music about, talking about killing, referring to them in dehumanizing terms, because majority of white artists, majority of white music, they don't talk about their own people like that. The only people you could talk about like this are African people. Why is this? What are we being set up for? So this is not an attack on our youth. This is not an attack on the hip-hop artists. We need the hip-hop artists to have the freedom to be able to tell the truth. And then we also have to implement economic withdrawal strategies against these corporate conglomerates to put economic pressure on them to do the right thing. If you look at what just happened with Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly was taken off of Fox News. He got fired from Fox News, okay, because about 80 advertisers withdrew economic support from them. Well, they didn't just come out of the kindness of their own heart. No, there was economic pressure put on them to withdraw economic support. One of the organizations that was at the forefront of putting economic pressure on these advertisers to withdraw economic support from Bill O'Reilly, who was making millions of dollars each year for Fox News. He had the highest rated cable news program for like the last 15 years. Bill O'Reilly, okay? Colorchange.org. Huffington Post Black Voices has an article. This black org helped oust Bill O'Reilly by hitting Fox where it hurts. This black org helped oust Bill O'Reilly by hitting Fox where it hurts. And it talked about colorchange.org. And the executive director, his name is Rashad Robinson. If you watch News One Now with Roland Martin, Roland has him on frequently. They had a 2-year campaign against the O'Reilly factor, Bill O'Reilly. Americans is a propaganda TV show, very disparaging to Black Lives Matter, all different types of things like this. And so is the Fox News Network, period, but especially the O'Reilly factor. They had a 2-year campaign against that show and putting pressure on the advertisers, things like this. But when he spoke negatively about Maxine Waters, saying I can't hear anything she's saying, her hairstyle reminds me of the James Brown style. And behind these sexual harassment lawsuits also that were revealed a few weeks ago by New York Times, their campaign escalated. And they were at the forefront of getting him taken off the air, but they also were involved in getting the Glenn Beck show taken off the air of Fox. Also, they were heavily involved in getting the Cops TV show taken off the air after 25 years, which was on Fox also. So these are some of the things we're going to discuss today, okay? How's everybody doing? Come on out, those in the Detroit area. If you're in the suburbs, come on out. Bring the youth. The youth need to hear this. This is not an attack on the artists. I want to make this very clear. A lot of these artists, they would like the freedom to put out more positive information. A lot of their images are created by the corporate conglomerates, okay? We totally understand this. I just saw an article. We posted an article a couple of days ago about how Nicki Minaj is paying college tuition for 30 of her fans. So this is not an attack on the artist. This is an attack on white supremacy and an attack on the corporate conglomerates that are trying to destroy our youth, who are trying to drive more of us into the criminal justice system. And they're using the negative hip hop to do this. And they don't, for the most part, market this to white children, to white youth. Now, white youth consume it, but they have other things surrounding them where this is a safari expedition that's going on as opposed to having to be real life. Okay? Because just like Miley Cyrus just did, she said she's done with hip hop. She can just put on a dress and fix her hair a certain way, and you go sing Christian songs or do whatever the hell she wants to do. After she pimped hip hop to make money, she can go in another direction. Okay. So, we have to understand what you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you is based upon what you think about yourself. What you do to yourself, what you do, what you think, what you do to yourself, what you allow other people to do to you is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you have been taught about yourself. What you have been taught about yourself is based upon everything you've read, heard, and seen about yourself. Okay, so we have to pay attention to this. You can also, if you want to, you can register for the online classes that I teach. We just posted the link there because we actually have a bundle pack. Is $120 value. You can register for 4 of my online classes for $80. That includes Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. That includes Empire Strikes Black, the propaganda of the media, where I deal with a lot of this information in that online class. Empire Strikes Black, the propaganda of the media. Great African Women in History, the Mothers of Civilization. Great African Women in History, the Mothers of Civilization. Also, how Richard Nixon's war on drugs was a war on the African American community. How Richard Nixon's war on drugs was a war on the African American community. We just posted the link there. You can register for those. As soon as you register, there's about 20 hours of content to watch. You can watch the class I just did last night for Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. And all these classes, we do them live. They are recorded. You can go back and watch them over and over again. Okay. All right, so check out the articles we have on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network. And we have to understand how politics impacts every aspect of our life. 2 main ways to understand politics. Number 1, the legal distribution of scarce wealth, power, and resources. The legal distribution of scarce wealth, power, and resources. Number 2, the writing of laws, statutes, ordinances, amendments, and treaties, their adoption, interpretation, and enforcement. Okay, so those in the Detroit area, I'll see you today. This is organized by Hood Research, Saturday, May 13th, 2017, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Free event. Clear the Airwaves panel discussion. Clear the Airwaves panel discussion about the mental effects of negative hip hop and killer lyrics, how it affects our communities, how it disrespects our women, the radio stations that play it, the corporations that sponsor it. This is located at the Dabo Center, Detroit Association of Black Organizations, located at 12048 Grand River Avenue, corner of Wyoming, in Detroit, Michigan. Free event. Vendor space is available. I'll have my DVDs there. Contact Hood Research at 313-391-8343 for more information. 313-391-8343. It's a free event. Bring the youth. Bring the youth. Okay. Now, did you all hear yesterday the announcement from Attorney General Jeff Sessions that they were going to reverse an President Obama policy and go after the harshest sentences against nonviolent drug violators? Okay. Did you all hear about this? This is serious because they're ramping up the war on drugs, which is going to target us. And a lot of people don't know that under President Obama, the U.S. prison population dropped to its lowest point in about 20 years. It's down to 1.53 million from 2.3 million. That's because of the policies that President Obama put in place, okay, not to seek the maximum penalties against low-level drug offenders, all right? Attorney General Jeff Sessions said Friday that he has directed his federal prosecutors to pursue the most severe penalties possible, including mandatory minimum sentences, in his first step toward a return to the war on drugs of the 1980s and 1990s that resulted in long sentences for many minority defendants in packed U.S. prisons. And Donald Trump said, what do you have to lose? Now, one of the mistakes that people made is not studying what was going on. Because you had all these people said, oh, President Obama didn't do anything. He didn't accomplish anything. They didn't know about these policies he put in place. They didn't know that the U.S. prison population dropped to its lowest point in 20 years under President Obama because of these policies he put in place. So how could Jeff Sessions undo what Obama did if Obama didn't do anything? How could Attorney General Jeff Sessions undo what Obama did if Obama didn't do anything? Okay? Maybe you didn't pay attention to what Obama did. Maybe that's the problem. Check out progress of the African American community during the Obama administration. Progress of the African American community during the Obama administration. Where is that from? Where'd you get that from, Michael M. Hotep? I never heard of that before. Whitehouse.gov. Whitehouse.gov. What's Whitehouse.gov? Official website of the White House. I never heard of that before. Well, that's part of the problem. We'll post a link here and make it easy on you. We'll post a link here. When you have bad information, you make bad decisions. When you have bad information, you make bad decisions. Okay? This is what happens. What you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you is based upon what you think about yourself. And when you have bad information, you make bad decisions. All right, look, I got to get out of here. And you can register for our online courses also. And then Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Ma'afa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. That class is only $40 also if you just want to register for that one. As soon as you register, you can watch last night's class. We have about 8 hours of bonus content there also. We'll post that as well. You can visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. All of my DVD lectures are there as well. And we're going to post this flyer there for the event for the day also. I haven't had a chance to post it on our website. And podcasts of my shows are there also, of our radio show as well. Okay? All right, we got to get out of here. See you all in Detroit today at the Dabo Center, 12048 Grand River Avenue. Bring the youth. Free event. Clear the Airwaves panel discussion, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. The mental effects of negative hip-hop and killer lyrics. The mental effects of negative hip-hop and killer lyrics. Am I in the Atlanta area? I will be in Atlanta the third weekend in July. The third weekend in July for the Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. The Liberated Minds Black Homeschool and Education Expo. And I will be there also filming my portion of the documentary Black Friday Part 2. Black Friday Part 2. I'm in about 6 documentaries. One of them is about to come out, Elementary Genocide Part 3 from director Raheem Shabazz. But I'm in the documentaries I'm in, you can order from our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. I'm in the Black Friday documentaries, Black Friday, What Legacy Will You Leave? And then that's from director Rick Mathis, and he's filming Black Friday Part 2. And this deals with strategies to recycle our $1.3 trillion economy, strategies to create generational wealth, etc. Okay, so and I'll be in Baltimore, Washington D.C. area, January 25th for a screening of Black Friday at the Everlasting Life restaurant. So we have to get the flyer up on our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. Okay, so hope those in Detroit area, hope to see you today. Bring the youth. Everybody else, you can also register for the online classes that I posted information about. You can go to AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. We have information there as well. Hey, remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's corrects wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.